got that feeling. The sun in my face, it's so well needed. Life will take care of the rest. Biking alone in the sunset, through the canal, so the mindset I needed. Yeah, I needed.
Should I wear these for the intro? I think I should. Look at how cute it looks. Ah. Hi guys, it's Katie, and for today's video, I'm going to show you how to make this. So I was looking on Pinterest and I saw a ton of costumes that were like how to make deer antlers, how to be a deer, how to do your makeup like a deer. And the more and more I looked through, the more I was like, I have to do this. Like this has to be my life. I'm so excited because I have made like 6 of these and they are so easy. These look a lot more complicated than they really are. I know, at least for me, even as a DIYer, I looked at them and I was like, oh, those kind of look difficult. I wonder if they're gonna be hard. And literally, I was able to make 3 of them while I was sick and was kind of laying on the floor lethargically, like dying, and was able to whip 3 of these guys out. The other 2 are different versions of antlers. These are obviously horns made of paper mache, but they are so easy and they look so freaking awesome. Like I'm obsessed. I love the way it turns out. Here's the tutorial. The materials needed for this project are a headband, some felt pipe cleaners, old newspaper or scrap paper, and some flowers. Starting with one of the headbands, mark where you want the antlers to go. I used my Disney Mickey ears as reference. Then grabbing your pipe cleaners, we're going to use the pipe cleaners to build out the base of what we want our horns or antlers to look like. I like using the pipe cleaners because they're easy to bend and shape. Next, I'm going to use some masking tape and I'm just going to mask around the pipe cleaners to give it more shape. This also makes it so the paper mache will stick better to it. One thing to note is that your antlers or horns are not going to be flush against the backdrop. They actually need to go back a little bit. So you'll see that my headband is kind of up. They need to be set back from your head or they will fall off. So make sure to try them on and then bend them into the correct position for your head. And then keep taping. I wanted these to be super thick, so there is just going to be a lot of taping that happens. At some point it occurred to me that I could use the tape to build out the antlers, but what I should have done is used newspaper and crumpled it up and then wrapped the tape around the newspaper. Even though the tape made it a lot thicker, there's nothing behind it. So when I went to paper mache it, I had to be really careful not to accidentally push the tape down, which kind of gave it a crinkle effect. So I would definitely recommend adding some scrap paper behind that to give it kind of a fuller effect. Next, we're gonna cut strips out of our newspaper. The strips can be kind of any length that you really want. I cut a ton of different sizes, so I'd have lots of options when my hands were sticky and it's really difficult to tear the paper. So I cut thin strips, I cut long strips, I cut little short tiny ones. Now for the paper mache part. Grab some flour, a bowl, and a utensil. Add some flour and water to your bowl and then start mixing it up. You want it to be kind of a thin, liquidy consistency. You don't want it to be chunky and you don't want it to be just runny, because then it will not stick to your paper. Now you're gonna take your newspaper strip. You're gonna coat both sides of the newspaper evenly with the paste that you just made. I just placed the paper kind of randomly. You wanna make sure that you're placing it in a bunch of different directions to give the horns more structural stability. So some of them I wrapped around and some of them I laid straight. It doesn't really matter which order you do this in, just make sure that you do both. You're gonna wanna wait at least 24 hours for your paper mache to dry. I ended up waiting like 3 or 4 days, and once it dries, it is really hard, which is perfect. If you don't have a lot of time to wait, you can always put your paper mache in front of a fan or in front of a hairdryer. And then I'm just adding normal craft paint, normal acrylic craft paint on here in the color white. Because of the way I paper mache'd this, I actually think it would have been easier to spray paint it, but I had already committed to paint, so that's what happened. I'm going to use the paint, and while it is still wet, I'm going to apply the glitter. This way the glitter will stick to it and you don't have to add like glue to it again. Now grab whatever flowers you want, and I'm just gonna pull these flowers off, which is a little bit more difficult. These ones wanted to stay a bouquet. I'm gonna place the flowers all around the horns to make it have kind of a like flower crown appearance. And I'm just hot gluing these down. And it doesn't matter how you do it. I'm just so particular, and I sat there for like 20 minutes trying to decide how I wanted to place the flowers. And after like every single one, I kept getting up and making sure I liked the way it looked on and making sure it was balanced. But that is totally optional, and I feel like no matter how you put the flowers on, it's going to look good. So don't stress out like I did. And there were some items in the bouquet that I tried to incorporate into the flower crown, and they just looked terrible. So you do not have to use everything that comes with your flower packet.
Forgot that feeling, the sun in my face, it's so well needed. Life will take care of the rest. Biking alone in the sunset, through the canal, so the mindset I needed. Yeah, I needed. Oh, let's freeze time, gather around, watch the sun go down. Oh.
So that is all I have for you guys today. Again, I hope you guys love this tutorial. I love the way it turned out. If you guys tried this, please tag me on one of my social medias so I can see it, because I'm so excited to see what you guys made and how it turned out. And if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you are not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button down below. I make DIY tutorials and lifestyle videos. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and are loving Halloween season. Fall is my absolute favorite, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!